On January 22, 1944, French police knocked on the Pikovskys' door. They gave them 1 hour to pack their belongings. Louise had time to race to Miss Malingray's house to return her Bible and write one last letter.
Nous sommes tous arrêtés. Je vous laisse les livres qui ne sont pas à moi et aussi quelques lettres que je voudrais retrouver si je reviens un jour. Je pense à vous, au père, à mademoiselle Arnold, et je vous embrasse. Louise.
Father, mother and all 4 children were driven to the Drancy internment camp. Record cards were drawn up for each of them. Less than 2 weeks later, they were listed for deportation on Convoy 67. Along with 2,200 others, the Pikovskys were bused to Bobigny train station. In World War II, Bobigny was the main point of departure for trains headed from France to the death camps. After a 3-day journey in wagons made for animals, they arrived at Auschwitz in Poland. There are no records of the Pikovsky family at Auschwitz, which suggests they were sent straight to the gas chambers. Louise was 16 years old. So the letters don't end up forgotten in another school cupboard. The teachers donated them to the Shoah Memorial in Paris. They're now kept safe in the archives. Anyone who visits the memorial can read them.
And joining us now from Boulogne, where there is a tribute happening today in honor of the Pikovsky family, is our Catherine Norris-Trent. So, Catherine, tell us where you are and what's happening there today.
Hi, Monty. I'm here outside the town hall in Boulogne-Billancourt, which is an area just outside the city limits of Paris, just next to Paris, where the ceremony for Louise Pikovsky and her family, who were all murdered in Auschwitz, will be taking place later today. And the story, as you heard there, of Louise and her family was really unearthed thanks to the investigations, partly of a France 24 journalist, Stéphanie Trouillard, and her colleague Claire Paquelin, because 70 years after she wrote them, letters from Louise, the 16-year-old schoolgirl sent to Auschwitz, were uncovered in a cupboard in a high school in this area. And among them, that very moving last letter you just heard her being read aloud by one of her surviving family members, asking her favourite teacher to keep those letters in case she ever came back. We know that she never did. And today, a plaque commemorating Louise Pikovsky and her family will be placed on her family home, which is just a few hundred metres from here. In attendance, there will be a surviving cousin of Louise. Her family have been very moved to see her story brought to life, and they're very glad that her words, her personality hasn't been forgotten thanks to the discovery of these letters. There'll also be the chief rabbi of France and a survivor of the Auschwitz concentration camps, among others. So it's set to be a very moving, very poignant ceremony today. And you can watch that documentary, If I Ever Come Back, and the web documentary online. You can read those letters. They're on the France 24 website.